The ground beneath Sicily is collapsing right now. Recently, a massive landslide tore open a deep chasm at the edge of the hilltop town of Niscemi, severing roads and leaving homes suspended over empty space. After days of relentless rainfall, the slope gave way across a 4-kilometer stretch of land, forcing more than 1,500 people to evacuate as the ground continued to move. Italy now fears this ancient town could be permanently lost. But how can a place that stood for centuries collapse so quickly? And with the ground still sliding, what will happen next? Let's find out. Niscemi sits on a raised plateau in southern Sicily, home to around 26,000 people. For centuries, its hilltop location shaped its identity. It was strategically defensible, agriculturally productive, and historically significant. Like many elevated Mediterranean towns, it seemed built to last. Its height provided security and visibility. But beneath the streets, a hidden weakness had always existed. The ground under the town is made of soft, sedimentary rock and clay-rich soil. To the naked eye, this looks solid. But clay behaves very differently once water enters the system. When dry, it is strong. When soaked, it softens and weakens, turning into something closer to slow-moving paste. Underneath Niscemi, water-absorbing layers sit above denser rock that prevents drainage. This allows rainwater to build up underground instead of flowing away. Over time, this trapped water reduces friction inside the slope, making it easier for gravity to pull the land downward. This kind of failure rarely happens all at once. Instead, it unfolds slowly. Cracks appear, close, and reopen. Buildings may remain standing even while the ground beneath them is moving. Niscemi was never truly stable. It was only balanced until conditions changed. Before we continue, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. Niscemi is not an isolated case. Sicily is one of Europe's most landslide-prone regions. Its steep terrain, weak geology, and intense rainfall makes slope failures common. In 1998, rainfall triggered landslides in southern Italy, killed more than 150 people. In 2009, slope failures around Messina destroyed entire neighborhoods. Similar events followed intense rainfall in recent years, forcing evacuations across eastern Sicily. Landslides are often underestimated because they rarely happen in a single dramatic moment. Instead, they unfold quietly over days or weeks. The damage accumulates slowly, long before the final collapse. What makes Sicily especially vulnerable is the combination of steep slopes and clay-rich soils that weaken quickly when saturated. Add roads, buildings, and altered drainage systems, and the balance becomes even more fragile. Niscemi fits perfectly into this pattern. Its collapse was not unexpected. It was simply delayed. The immediate trigger was 3 days of continuous, heavy rainfall linked to a powerful storm system. Unlike short storms, this one delivered almost non-stop rain. The ground had no time to drain or recover between downpours. Water soaked into the soil and reached the dense layers beneath the town. Instead of draining away, it accumulated underground, weakening the slope from within. At first, movement was deep and invisible, then cracks appeared at the surface. These cracks widened and connected, forming a long rupture at the edge of the town. Over time, a 4-kilometer section of hillside began sliding downward. Roads split apart, pavement tore open, homes shifted, and yet many buildings remained standing, making the danger harder to recognize. Even after the rain stopped, the movement continued. Gravity kept pulling the weakened slope downward. Monitoring shows that some sections are still unstable today. Landslides like this are difficult to predict. Movement may slow, pause, or suddenly accelerate again. As the slope failed, authorities evacuated the most at-risk areas. More than 1,500 residents left their homes, even though many buildings showed little visible damage. This is one of the most dangerous aspects of landslides. Structures can appear safe, while the ground beneath them is moving. Exclusion zones were created. Roads were closed. Entire neighborhoods were cut off. Engineers installed monitoring instruments to track movement. But stabilizing slopes like this is extremely difficult. In clay-rich terrain, even advanced engineering solutions can fail. Some neighborhoods may never be safe again. For many residents, the future is uncertain. Return, rebuilding, or permanent relocation all depend on how the ground behaves next. What happened in Niscemi is not unique. Across the Mediterranean, many hillside towns share the same risk. Areas around Malaga, the hills near Athens, and parts of France's Mediterranean coast all sit on fragile ground. In recent years, disasters in Messina and Ischia have forced evacuations and long-term displacement. These towns were built centuries ago, long before modern understanding of slope stability. Drainage systems designed for historical rainfall are now overwhelmed. As climate patterns shift, rainfall is becoming heavier and more persistent. Water is increasingly concentrated in ways that destabilize slopes. Niscemi is now a warning. The uncomfortable reality is that towns which survived for generations may no longer be viable. The future of Niscemi remains uncertain. Some areas may be stabilized, others may be abandoned forever. Relocation is painful, but sometimes it is the only realistic option. Engineering can slow movement, but it cannot always defeat unstable ground. What makes this disaster so unsettling is that it arrived without spectacle. There was no single moment of destruction, no sudden collapse. Instead, the land quietly withdrew its support. This is a reminder that not all disasters strike suddenly. Some unfold slowly, crack by crack, until the ground itself becomes the threat. Niscemi did not collapse in a moment. It is still collapsing, right now. If you found this video interesting, make sure to subscribe for more deep dive documentaries about hidden disasters and the forces shaping our planet. And let me know in the comments. Do you think more cities around the world face similar risks? Thanks for watching.